Okay, Denise, you want to start us off?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Denise. I'm a freedom activist in the state of California, and I'm co-founder of Freedom Angels.
All right, guys, my name is Heidi. I am a co-founder of Freedom Angels, and I'm located in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Hi, I'm Tara, also in Freedom Angels and in the Northern Sierra Nevada mountains of California.
So today we are going live at 5 from my account because Facebook has censored Freedom Angels from going live. And we're going to be talking about freedom and liberty in the state of California and across the nation, starting with what happened in Michigan today. It's very exciting.
Yeah, do you want to go over it?
Yeah, so I mean, I have been kind of off social media all day, but from what I saw, we had Michigan had showed up in Operation Gridlock, where they were protesting the unconstitutional state orders that their governor has set in place. And this is something that has actually paved the way for other states, because normally it takes, a group of people to actually do it before others can do it. And boy, did Michigan show up with cars just down the street, around the corner. They showed up. So I am so proud of Michigan Patriots today.
Oh, it was incredible. They did caravans. They drove for hours in long caravans to get to the Capitol for Operation Gridlock. And they had great signs too. I mean, one of my favorite ones, the cars were all decorated and a lot of people were on the ground at the Capitol as well. So it was both boots on the ground and cars. They gridlocked all around the Capitol. Some of my favorite ones, it's all protesting the lockdown. I mean, we know that the grounds on which the lockdown has been called in every state are completely unjust. It's really criminal what they're using to justify. This is not narrow enough to justify these kinds of means. This is, there's no due process. They've suspended the Constitution on grounds. The grounds to do such a thing should be much, much, much different than this, and it's very narrow and restrictive and limited. Nothing like what has happened. The way this entire thing has been handled is literally criminal. And Heidi, do you want to say something while I pull up some of the signs I wanted to read, which were so good?
Yeah, so sorry, we're doing multiple things here, guys. This is really interesting. We're trying to get Stephanie on with us right now, so I'm multitasking with that too. I mean, if you ever want to.
Okay, so
oh, go ahead.
That's awesome. I'm so glad Stephanie's on there with us. I know some people are saying they can't see me. I'm actually not feeling very well today with I have a migraine, and it kind of put me out of commission today. So I am not on the screen, but I am fully here and ready to talk about what we're going to be doing in the state of California. I am so excited.
Yes. So here's some of the signs on the cars and in people's hands today in Michigan. Let my people go free. What else? Let's see. And then my rights don't end at your pen. It's a good one.
I love that one.
Security. Yeah. No security for liberty. Serve the people, not your agenda. We the people, back to work or bust. And I think it really, if you see the pictures, the lines of cars are incredible. And in Connecticut today, the people of Connecticut sent a message to their governor, Lamont. They hashtagged him and tweeted to him and on social media platforms, Operation Gridlock, and tagged him at it. Like, we're coming for you. And that's what, in every state we can do that. Hashtag Operation Gridlock, tag your governor, and get organized, get going to the Capitol. We can talk about what we're doing. We have coming up on Monday, the 20th here in California.
Here comes Stephanie, guys. She can only be on for a little bit, so let's make sure we get her on the call, and she gets a minute to talk, and then she has to hop off. But yay, Stephanie's here. Go ahead.
So excited.
Steph. Can you hear us?
Let's see. I can see her on, but I can't hear her. Maybe her audio. You know how they like to mess with people's audio.
Yeah.
Well,
So while that's happening, I really do want to address something. I've been seeing a lot of people saying, you know, these protests are only going to make them put us under martial law. These protests are only going to get them angry. But I mean, where do you think we're at right now? We're all stuck inside of our houses and stores are shut down, and we're being told how we can shop and what time we can go outside and curfews. I mean, folks, you're under martial law without them actually saying that. So no matter what we do, I mean, we can't just sit around and say, we hope we don't get them mad. We have to get angry and we have to start putting them back in their place, knowing that they are elected representatives that were given those seats by the people. So it is imperative that we start standing up and joining each other's protests and caravans. Otherwise, we're going to be in a really, really bad situation, worse than we are right now.
Yeah, we can see the plan and the agenda has been laid bare for everybody. It's, you know, it's contact tracing. It's full on surveillance state. Show your papers for access to work, society, you know, school, whatever it might be. You have to prove your health status and sign up for, you know, digital contact tracing and be basically a surveillance state. And leading ultimately to vaccines, as you know, Governor Newsom and other governors have said in the last day or two. You know, we went from surge phase to suppression, herd immunity to ultimately vaccines. We cannot let our, you know, freedom be conditional on anything like this. There should be no grounds like this for our participation in society at all. And they don't have the right to do it, frankly. I mean, it is upon us to defend our Constitution. It's in our hands. We can't like expect anyone to come and you know, save us. It is in our hands, in our power to do so.
It's our duty to do this.
Absolutely, it's our duty. And I think Stephanie, can you hear us, Steph? Chime in.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can everybody?
Good.
Stephanie,
Yes.
It's kind of quiet.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
That's a little better, yes.
Okay, I'll do my best here. I'm in my garage with a speaker. Let me turn it up a little bit. Actually,
Okay. So while she's
is that any better?
oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, except now I can't hear you. Let's see.
Oh no.
Sorry. Shoot.
So Stephanie's working on this right now. Stephanie,
Gotcha.
interrupt.
Getting ready.
Go ahead, Heidi.
Okay, guys, thank you for bearing with us as Stephanie's working to get this set up. I think it's really important. We have a lot of new viewers here watching our stuff. So Stephanie actually has daughters that are so sensitive to EMFs that she cannot be around her daughters with her phone or any device that is letting off Wi-Fi. So this is like a challenge that we're dealing with right now. She's hiding in her garage trying to get set up to talk to us. She's not on video right now because, again, we're just trying to reduce as much as possible her kids' exposure. And she was just jumping on to talk to us, but the EMF sensitivity, it's a real thing, and you're going to start to see it more and more as 5G goes up everywhere.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the first part, so I don't know where you want me to start. You just want me to jump in with the convoy?
Yeah, jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, so
For
I just wanted to-
Monday.
yeah, Monday,
Well,
the 20th.
We haven't actually brought back up today yet what we talked about yesterday and the previous days, that starting a pushback, Operation Gridlocks, and Stand for Freedom at our capitals and other locations. We have the first one coming on Monday, this coming Monday, April 20th in Sacramento. Steph, talk about the caravan.
Yeah, so I live down here in South Orange County. I'm about 6.5 hours away from the Capitol. And strangely enough, my kids and I miss it. We haven't been there for a long time. So we're getting kind of pumped up about driving up on Sunday or Monday morning. And so our thought was to add to the demonstration, the protest at the Capitol, we're going to bring up as many cars as we can and have a good old-fashioned convoy. So I'm working on the maps right now, and we'll map out we'll have a couple of different routes from Southern California, from the Bay Area, from Northern California for anybody who's interested. And I'll be announcing more details as we get it all ironed out. But the idea is we'll take off from Southern California maybe at about 3 a.m. Monday morning to arrive at the Capitol at high noon for the demonstration. And the idea, Tara, Denise, and Heidi and I talked about Operation Gridlock, and we'll hashtag Operation Gridlock and tag Governor Newsom, and just another way for us to show that we're done. Enough is enough. We have to balance the risk. You guys know the numbers. You know, I live in Orange County. We've had 19 deaths attributed to coronavirus, and those may or may not be actual, but 19 deaths out of 3.2 million people is 0.0006%. And I don't know how many jobless claims we have since this has all started, but I know it's a lot more than 19. So it's time for us to get back to work. It's time for us to open up the state, and not with the parameters that Gavin Newsom set yesterday, which I know the ladies have already all talked about it. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. I'm convinced, you guys, we had coronavirus in February, and my daughter Hallie was really sick. She ended up with double pneumonia, and it was scary, but she came through fine, and we're all okay. So we could get the immunity certificate, I think, but we have to get really serious about what that precedent means. If we have an immunity certificate for coronavirus, and then the next one is chickenpox, and then measles, and the list goes on. Suddenly, if you don't have a vaccine or haven't had one of those illnesses, you don't get to travel anymore. So I'm done. I know you guys are done. What's that?
Or go to work or anything, or you don't get to travel. You don't get to participate in society. I mean, fundamentally, that cannot be the grounds, your health status cannot be the grounds by which it's determined if you can participate in your life. That you
Absolutely
can work
not.
or go to school or travel or do anything. It has to be fought at every level. The testing and the tracking, or the tracing, whatever they're calling it, contact tracing, and they're looking at the digital high-tech contact tracing. It literally, that is the grounds that they're going to enslave us upon. So that is the grounds we have to battle. We battle to end these lockdowns without conditions.
That's right. Absolutely. I'm not submitting to temperature checks before I go into businesses and before my kids can function in society. We can't live this way. So anyway, I'm really excited. I'll put more details up on the Freedom Angels page and on my personal page for Operation Gridlock. But essentially, we're going to leave Monday morning at about 3 a.m. We'll make some stops along the way and pick people up, and we'll have a good old-fashioned convoy up to Sacramento.
Can I just say how excited I am to have all four of us again
Yes!
together, getting back to work.
I know.
Yes, it is about time. We have done this long enough. I am not going, I got turned away from Big Five for not wearing a mask. I'm just going to take my money somewhere else, but we can't do this. And if they want a mask, we're going to be in a really bad place, especially places like where I'm at, where, crime has increased. Those stores are going to get robbed with people wearing masks like that. I don't think this is thought out properly. But yeah, I'm super excited to get back together. I'm ready to get back to work. I feel like a caged lion right now, just waiting.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Oh, I feel exactly like that.
And you guys, I know you've got a bunch of new viewers, but it's important to make it clear that this is not just a health freedom issue.
No.
You all saw that letter from Miguel Santiago to Governor Newsom. He wants to ban firearm sales, ban ammunition sales. We've got CPS with an inflated budget so they can manage coronavirus issues. This is going to hit. We got the churches closed. This hits everything. So this isn't an anti-vax thing. This isn't a health freedom thing. This is a freedom thing. So we really need everybody on board to join us in Sacramento.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a freedom issue. Nothing more. We have been able to work with other movements, other people who are just tired of the government overreach. So, you may have people like Pan and his group trying to reframe this because they know how upset and how done people are. They are trying to make it look like it's something that it's not, when we have been saying over and over again, this is just purely about freedom.
Yep, absolutely. And I think it's important that you guys hear, we've been getting a lot of questions. Is this an event for families to come to? Well, Stephanie is driving up with her family. I plan to have mine. There's lots of others that are coming. This is an individual decision that you guys need to make as family units. We are free individuals to exercise our natural God-given rights. Our rights do not come from government. Our rights come from God. And so each of you make that decision as a family if you're participating together or you're tag teaming or what you're doing. But I think it's important that we address the family friendliness of this event. It's peaceful, civil disobedience.
Right. Very exciting.
And the whole social distancing thing, and I know we're working with the guys at the Capitol, we can absolutely honor that. So this can be safe in every way. And if you're not comfortable being out in the masses, stay in your car on the convoy, right? So we welcome everybody. Put your family in the car or don't put your family in the car, whatever works for you, just get there.
And it worked great for Michigan. You know, that convoy worked out great. So we're going to have the Capitol surrounded with bodies on the ground, with people in their cars, with American flags, with flags and signs. I mean, this is going to be something that's going to be magical. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely.
But when we say no more,
yeah,
you know, we're done. You know, you have the data and the science that you've been using. Basically, this has all been crafted around misinformation. It's been manipulated and lack of, it's not even about transparency anymore. It's about the manipulation and framing of something. I mean, there is for grounds to take away constitutional rights of people and enact emergency powers, the state needs to, show a compelling interest and apply this very narrowly. This has been the complete opposite of that. Every bit of data and science comes out show this is much more akin to a bad flu season, and all anyone wants to talk about is lockdowns, isolation, and ventilators and future vaccines instead of real therapeutic solutions and real world solutions. And now our whole participation on easing out of this lockdown is conditional on things that every human should be fighting for. And they should be fighting, if you're not going to fight, fight on the grounds of protecting Constitution, then fight for your children and your grandchildren not to be tracked and traced and to be in a surveillance state for the rest of the coming future. Because once we go down this road, it will be so hard to turn back from. This is the ground and the moment in time that we have to realize what is before us and what we accept. If we do not accept it, then it will not be our future. If we accept it, then that's our future, and it's a much harder battle to change it.
And we want to talk about too, I know we have a lot of new viewers as we reach out to other groups. So Freedom Angels, we held a flag upside down, and we want to make sure everybody understands we are patriots. We know exactly what it means to hold the flag upside down. When we hold the U.S. flag upside down, it is a sign of distress. In our flyer that we created yesterday, we wrote Mayday, Mayday. That is a universal sign also for distress. Mayday, Mayday, we need help. That's what this is about. It's not about a communist celebration that somebody says, universally Mayday is that day. We want you guys to understand we are taking back what is rightfully ours. So we need to get everybody's attention, and that's why we said Mayday, Mayday, send help. Our flag is up. It's a sign of distress.
And since we're all four on here, we really have the experience, the boots on the ground experience in doing this. All four of us, we worked successfully in shutting down the California Capitol for 11 days. We were successful at leading this. So this isn't something that we're just throwing together. A lot of thought is going into this. A lot of, we're making sure that that people are safe, that we're safe. So I want to throw that out because a lot of people are, they're concerned about this. They're concerned, well, what about, is the safety? We've done this. We've had the experience to do this. All four of us work really well together. So I'm like I said, I'm really excited to be able to do this together again. with people that I feel completely safe with doing this with.
Absolutely.
And you know, this is a new world right now for everyone. And our First Amendment rights to freedom of religion, but also to assemble, they're First Amendments for a reason. They are fundamental to the process of freedom. And for organizing and fighting back against tyranny. And that's what we're doing right now, because basically it has become, this isn't week 1 anymore. This is week, 3 or 4 in. And it's very clear there's two ways, there's going to essentially be 2 ways forward. The plan that you're hearing from Gates and Fauci and the WHO and Governor Newsom and Governor Cuomo and Governor Murphy and you name them, the states are lining up, the governors are lining up. And the other way forward, which is we the people are going to say no. We stand for our constitutional rights, our civil liberties, and say you do not get to make our participation in society conditional on these grounds at all. We will not accept them. That is the alternate future, and it is our right and our ability to determine that. They don't get to say Gates is not the king of the world, and we are not his slaves, and we will not comply. And if all of us determine the way forward, then that's the way the world will go. If we sit back, then it goes the way you're listening to and hearing and hopefully fearing right now.
Yeah.
But it's doable. It's in our hands. It's in our power.
Absolutely. And so when everybody comes to the rally on the 20th, that's Monday, April 20th at the Sacramento Capitol, we encourage everybody to wear red, white, or blue. Bring your flags. Bring your signs. Again, this is addressing tyranny and getting back to work and the economy. Focus it definitely in that area, in freedom, the freedom vein here, guys. This is not about party affiliation. This is about humanity coming together to put a stake in the ground and saying, not on my watch, not on my watch. We're not going to let Gavin Newsom have his free ride that he thinks he's going to get to the White House. Because we all know that, guys. We all know he has his eye on the White House.
Yep.
And no way California is going to let him just walk all over us to get to the White House. Absolutely not.
Well, and besides seeing people like in Michigan and Ohio and North Carolina starting to show up and protest and march and stand and caravan for freedom, and there's more coming in every state. There's pulling them together. You're also seeing legislators coming together in different states or speaking out and saying, I reject what the governor is doing. I don't support that path that they're walking. You're seeing at the local level, sheriffs and community leaders are taking a stand for freedom and against these lockdown measures. So it's really, we've been saying for weeks on Freedom Angels Lives that to identify who the players are. From the state, it's the governors and the public health officials and the Office of Emergency Services, and it's their counterparts at the county levels that are so important in this conversation. That's the county public health officers, the law enforcement for the counties, the mayors, the boards of supervisors, in very much what your county looks like, what the makeup of your county management looks like, as well as the governor, and the interplay between them will very much determine what your battlefield looks like individually. This is where you fight back locally while also coming to things like at the Capitol, and also, getting on social media and getting engaged in the conversations on Twitter and all the different platforms to help drive the narrative and let people know that no one is alone in this, that there's a way being forged forward that we don't have to accept. And in fact, it's our duty to protect our Constitution and our rights and forge another future for this world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our sacred duty, our sacred honor. And we're stepping forward in that. And the other reason that we come together is so that we can see each other face to face. It's so important to have those connections, to make sure this is another opportunity where we can be exchanging names and numbers, and we definitely will be organizing by counties more than ever. This is the time where counties need to be linked up, because the ultimate pushback is going to happen in the counties.
Yep. And I'm in San Joaquin County. I'm in Stockton, California. Unfortunately, my town is real sleepy and, you know, isn't quite up on what we're doing. But if you are in San Joaquin County, Stockton, and you want to get together to push back, please email me, theinformedmama@protonmail.com. You can email me for the 5G pushback, for the pushback to the public health or the sheriff. But I need to get mobilized here in this county, and I need help for you guys to reach out for me. So that's just my little spill there.
And when you're reaching out to us at Freedom Angels on protonmail.com, our email, you're also welcome to put your county in the subject. And, you know, because we have a lot that we're sifting through, but
Yeah,
that might be able to help you organize a little better as well.
absolutely. That's perfect. I was just going to say, when you email us, freedomangels@protonmail.com, please make sure that in the subject you are putting pushback, your county, and your state. We need to see the county and the state. If you give us your city, that's great too. But in the subject line, it needs to be pushback, county, and state, so that we can help get you organized. We are sifting through thousands and thousands of emails right now. We don't have a website yet because we're all just doing this on a bootstrap budget. People think, I don't know, people think we're paid somehow. I don't know. We're not. This is all voluntary work that we're doing right now. So yeah, we don't have a website yet. We're working on that, but that has to be money generated, you know, from other sources at this point, meaning that we don't have access to. But
Right. But right now, you know, we're putting all of our information on Freedom Angels. We're sharing it on my page, on all of our personal pages. So for any updates on the rally or any updates on what we're doing, please follow Freedom Angels Foundation on Facebook. We will keep you guys up to date with that, and we will figure out how to do this automated response on the emails, just so you guys aren't being ignored. But you're not being ignored. We got hit. We did not expect it, which is a great thing. I'm so excited. I'm glad you guys are reaching out, but it's just Heidi doing this. So she can only do so much.
And in case you don't know, we're being censored on all our platforms. We can't go live through our Freedom Angels page. We can't go live through most of our personal page. It's amazing. We got through on Denise today. We've been going live through different friends' accounts, because and each day that we go live, we can't go back on them again. They're censoring that. We can't go live on our Instagram or do an Instagram story through Freedom Angels. Our YouTube has been hacked. So, you know, share this as much as you can. It helps get the message out, tag friends, because we're, you know, at every turn, every day, we have new censorship, and we're trying to get around it to get our message out.
Yeah, today, just before this, we lost the ability to even post the graphic for our flyer on our own page. We can't even post it. So that's why we're really relying on you guys. We need you guys to be subscribing to our Telegram, to our YouTube, to our Instagram, all these different ones, so that somehow we can get the information to you. And then once you get it, you need to share it within your networks, in your groups. You need to personally be emailing it and texting it to get the word out, so that we can all be working together on this.
So there's so many good things that are happening, from people rising up in their states and counties, fighting back on constitutional challenges at every level. We're starting to see it. Legislators are jumping into and pushing back. Social media, I mean, Bill Gates has been exposed for who he is and what his intent and plan is. And we can see who's lining up with who. You can see the agenda now. It's plain as day. No one's hiding anything, and it's on, you know, it's on worldview, and the allies are lining up on the sides. And don't ever let anyone let you think that contact tracing is a benign thing. It is literally the path to our enslavement. So that is really important. I want to say, Candace Owens had an incredible tweet today it's on fire. People are literally retweeting it like mad. And this shows the level that the WHO and Gates have been exposed. She said, she's referring to Gates, and she said, experimenting on and incidentally paralyzing and infertilizing poor colored children in Africa and India is as dangerous as it sounds. You, that's Gates, and the WHO got around FDA vaccine regulations by traveling to third world countries and offering philanthropy. You are both absolute scum. I mean, yeah, philanthropy has become the new world word for control, but again, that's just one of the tweets that are going around now that all the governors are even talking about vaccines. They weren't even talking about it till yesterday. And now they were. Fauci was like, we got to have the vaccine. We got to have that vaccine. But now they've lined it out. This is the plan. You're going to, Governor Newsom, we went over it yesterday. Social distancing, widespread testing, contact tracing, which requires widespread testing, which is surveillance tracking, and redesigning floor plans, redesigning what the new norm looks like, and having the control structures in place to be able to tighten our restrictions and loosen them up and tighten them again. No, just no. That all is complete bullshit. It's been the grounds that they're advancing this on are bullshit. The data, the science does not stand up if it's up against real data, real stats, real science, real therapeutics, and constitutional rights and the grounds for which you are supposed to use emergency orders for. None of it stands up. We're just complying, and we don't need to. And we need to demand real solutions, real therapeutics, and our constitutional rights and our freedoms, and that we're not playing. We're not going to play what they have planned.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely are not. And again, for our new viewers, we've pointed out in previous videos, social media is going to be playing huge into this. I want everybody, I've told, go to your Facebook as soon as you can, if you can do it now while we're on this live, or go right after it, go to your social media right now and click on your own about. That whole section there, they're mining everything from it, and they already created an account for blood donations. They want blood testing is going to be part of the surveillance and the tracking to see if you have immunity so that you can go back to work or go to school. If you turn your location services off on your phone, you're going to start getting notices on your social media. Please, Facebook wants to know where you are. In order to participate, we need to know where you are. They've been testing things through paying, through Facebook. We've been sending money back and forth through Facebook. That's the goal. It's to all control, all to this digital currency, towards a one world currency, the one world government, the one world religion, the one world food supply. This is where it's all going. And that is why we have to take our stand now and say, nope, we're done. We're not participating. We're not participating. And if enough of us stand up, it's going to make it just a little bit more difficult.
And organized through our churches. I mean, these are the places where, that's again why they don't want mass gatherings, why they've shut churches down, why they'll be one of the last things that they talk about releasing restrictions on, is because the churches are one of the last places that people gather on a weekly or twice weekly basis as a group with a unified, trust to really, to organize and to hold the line for their convictions. Mm-hmm. And, beyond that, church is essential to the soul. It's also essential for freedoms, for protecting freedoms and for organizing. Actually, I'm going to read a quote. Heidi, you want to talk for a second? There's a really good quote on that.
Okay, so I was just going to continue with churches. Again, pastors need to be showing up. Pastors and spiritual leaders need to be showing up on the 20th. They need to be showing up on the 24th. They need to be showing up at the 1st, because this is their congregation here. The people are in need, and they want to have a spiritual covering and guidance in this time. If churches are going to shut their doors, then yeah, church is going to start being proclaimed at Capitol steps. Churches are going to start having to be the messages proclaimed in grocery store lines. Like let's start thinking outside of the paradigm, of course, and being aware, talking with your pastors, that we're not going to be allowed into our church buildings again until we have that contact tracing that we're submitting to, or a vaccine, or various other things of tracking. And so if churches choose to not submit to that, then their live streams are going to be shut off. So the sleepiness of, oh, we're just doing church online, it's good, it's working. Well, it's good until it's not good. And we're letting you know right now, they're already censoring us. So if they're censoring our message and we're telling you about what they're about to do to the churches, what do you think they're going to do to the churches?
Right,
The
they've already
churches,
said
they
no
have-
mass gatherings until this vaccine's in place. So how much longer can you guys do your online churches and not actually practice your faith how you normally practice? Are you going to wait till 2023 until they decide that they're going to let you out in the streets? I mean, this is complete tyranny. And so it's completely up to us to start standing up and saying no more. We can't be tracked. We're not cattle. We're not going to allow you guys to put restrictions on us for us to go to a restaurant. And I'm sure as hell not going to let you take my temperature in front of everyone in order to enter that restaurant.
No. Yeah, our health is not conditional. And again, so this is what a federal judge granted last weekend, a TRO for this in Kentucky for a church to hold Easter services. And he quoted in his opinion, religious freedom's importance extends beyond the liberty to worship. It threatens liberty of all kinds. That's because, as de Tocqueville wrote in 1787, quote, religion, which among the Americans never directly takes part in the government of society, must be considered as the first of their political institutions, for it does not give them the taste for liberty. It singularly facilitates use of it. Yeah. That is profound. That really tells you why it's really incumbent upon our religious leaders to stand in their, they have the moral responsibility to use their moral voice and organize and protect around this, to protect what are our God-given rights and what are protected in our Constitution.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect quote to end on. We're at 37 minutes right now, and my computer battery is getting close to being ending. So I kind of looked through the questions that came through, and there's someone saying we want a flyer specifically for churches for the caravan and protest. Well, for now, take them what we have out right now, but yes, we can work on a special tailored one towards them. But for now, give them what we have, and you need to be, well, if you can't walk in, but you need to be knocking on their doors if you know where they live, or calling them up or emailing them and blasting. Yes, churches need to be at this pushback event. They need to be showing up at their capitals. They absolutely do. Otherwise, they're going to be silenced for good, because that is the agenda. Number one, wipe out all centers of faith. They want a one world religion, and it's going to be the state's religion, whatever the state authorizes. It's not going to be all these choices that you guys have currently.
And remember to work local. Everyone is no more than 1 or 2 degrees away from the people in their community or county that are tasked with the management of that county. And Governor Newsom very specifically said localism is determinative yesterday. Those were his words. And it rings true to what we've been saying for weeks here, to organize at this, to push back and organize at your community level. He said localism is determinative. And he said the county managers, the county government and elected officials and public health officers will have an outsized weight and hand in the implementation of these executive orders and the plan to move forward in easing restrictions. So again, you could see that actually is a good thing, because that shows you that the power is within us, within our local communities to create our future, the future we want. So
Right.
they're going to be pushing us one way, we push back.
Yep. So with that, we are going to wrap up. So if you are a truck driver, if you are coming from Southern California, wherever you're from in California, please come out to the California Capitol on April 20th at high noon. It would be great if we, like Stephanie said, if we did have truckers to come out there and put signs on their trucks and convoy around the Capitol. Every day, Monday through Friday, we have a live at 5. And, you know, we can't tell you where our live's going to pop up because of censorship, but we will be there to talk about freedom and liberty and what's going on in California and across the nation. So we will have more flyers out for you guys, but for right now, please mark your calendars for April 20th. We really need the numbers to show California governor that we are done with his unconstitutional policies. So catch us tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And you can find us on YouTube at Freedom Angels. And this video will go up shortly after we finish this live. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.